Bob Maloney from My MMA News. I'm over at Dante Rivera, BJJ, with my man, the Jaguar, Tim Dooling.
How are you?
Great. Tim and I go way back. I've seen him fight numerous times back in his debut. Tim is 7-4, and he's coming up fighting a Ring of Combat September 21st, and he's fighting a UFC vet, Jeff Lentz. Tim, how's your camp going? How you feeling physically? I know this is like a lifestyle for you now, but how do you feel going into this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I took some time off. I fought a lot last year. I fought almost 6 times in 7 months, practically, and turned 26, so I decided, I need a little time off, get all my life stuff in order, right? Fighting doesn't get in the way of life. Life gets in the way of fighting. So I've just been taking care of all that. I feel really good, confident going into the next fight that I don't have anything in my way. I'm moving forward, and my fighting career is going to have less blockades in it.
Well, Tim, what made you fall in love with mixed martial arts? Have you always, like when you were a kid, did you join a mixed martial arts? What made you fall in love with the sport and make you want to compete and actually get in there and get punched and punch people in the face for real?
Well, I mean, I've always been an athlete. I played baseball my entire life, actually. I didn't do any combat sports. I didn't play any contact sports until I was, 18, 19, got into MMA because, I was just an angry teenager and I just wanted to hit things, and it was a positive outlet as opposed to a negative one. And, I had a lot of negative outlets, and I tried to focus more towards that positive outlet. Some people might say, oh, MMA, that's not a positive. You're beating people up. You're getting hit for a living. And it's not so much that, it's about getting hit and hitting other people. It's an art. It's a form of art that you do with your body. It's not, cockfighting as people would assume. It's an art. It's a form of art, and it's an expression of yourself. It's how I like to express myself. I'm not very good with my hands unless they're balled up and thrown at something.
Well, it absolutely is. Listen, people who think that way about fighting obviously have never been into a gym, because if you come into a gym like this, like with your chest puffed out, you're going to be leaving with your tail between your legs. Because if you're going into a good place, it's not just about fighting. Listen, you have to. A place like Dante's has to cater to families and self-defense and nutrition. There's a lot more to it than just getting in a cage and beating each other up. Like you said, it's a sport. It's a sport. It's become a thinking man's game. Now, let's talk about your career a little bit, because I love your nickname, the Jaguar. You know why? Because I love nature. And jaguars, you know what they do? They hunt pythons, anacondas, crocodiles.
Let me tell you, jaguars are the apex predator. They hunt in the trees, in the water, on the ground. That's how I fight. I'll fight you on the feet, I'll fight you on the ground, I'll fight you up against the cage. It don't matter where it's at. And I'm an apex predator. I'll fight anybody, and I'll take it to them.
Well, that's why I was going to say to let me into that, because when I look at your fighting career, okay, 3 of your 4 losses, early on in your career, you lost to Frankie Buenafuente, who's a former Ring of Combat champion. Shout out to Frankie. And he's also in Bellator now. He has a victory. So he's a really good fighter. You took Julio Arce to distance, who right now is fighting in the UFC. And your last fight against Bill Algeo, who was defending champion, he gave me nothing but praise for you because you went the distance with him. He said he couldn't believe how tough you are. So listen, you're not looking for easy fights. You are a Jaguar. You're going out there and you want to fight the best of the best. You want to challenge yourself. You're not looking for that little rabbit. You're looking for the crocodile to get that big meal. So let me just give you much respect for that, because listen, I look at your career and I tell her when we found out you were on this card, I said, we're getting another great fight, because Tim goes into the cage and he goes, listen, there's never been a fight that you've been in where you haven't left all your heart in that cage, win or lose. You go in there, and that's what the people love the sport for. You're worth the price of admission, so let me give you that respect.
Thank you. I appreciate
Is that
very much.
Is that how you got the nickname?
That's what I live for. I don't go out there to hurt people. I go out there to express myself and inspire other people. If I inspire somebody else to do martial arts, even if it's not in the cage, that's a win for me. Even if I lost the fight, and I go into every fight thinking it could go anyway. A one punch can change the fight. I feel in my last fight with Algeo, it was a great fight. I was getting some good exchanges with him. One elbow, and it was like the lights turned off for half the building. I couldn't see anything. And one shot can totally change the momentum of a fight. And here I was 10, 20, well, including my amateurs, 20 fights into my career, and I'm thinking I have my training all figured out, and now I got to do something else. I train with a blindfold over I'm on my eyes when I hit the bag sometimes. I learn new things every fight. It's a way for me to grow as a person. It's not just a hobby. And even if it is a hobby, it's still a hobby that grows. So it helps me grow.
Who's helping you learn? You say you're growing every fight. Who's the main guys? Who's the voices in your head that's helping you learn and get ready? Because listen, Jeff Lentz has been involved. So this is another tough fight. This is a guy who's been around. You're not going to be able to show him anything that he hasn't seen because he's been in the UFC. He was on the Ultimate Fighter. He's boxed a few times. So he has his own gym. Another tough fight that you're taking because you don't want an easy win. Who's helping you get better for this fight?
I mean, everybody. Everyone that I train with, everyone that I talk to, there's a learning experience in everything. You know, when I train with the white belts and I'm trying to help them with the detail, I think about it more in-depthly. I have to think about it from the white belt's perspective, where he has zero understanding. It makes me learn it that much better. And then when I face the guys that are way better than me, it's the exact opposite. I'm getting hit with the moves that I know nothing about. And I'm just thinking, I got to break down this move from the white belt's level. And it doesn't matter who I'm training with, who I'm talking to. I talk to people and I'll learn new things. All my training partners, Phil, Joe, Dante, Leandro, everybody here at Dante Rivera Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When I come to a Jiu-Jitsu class and I'm rolling with a white belt, I'm learning just as much as when I'm rolling with Dante. Maybe not as much. Don't let Dante hear me.
You're going to
say
get
that.
choked out a few times. You're going to get tortured for that one.
I know.
Well, we're not going to edit that either. Dante's going to see that.
But you know what? I always say, when I come in and get beat up by Dante is when I learn the most. So I accept it. You know, when I lose a fight, I become way better than when I win a fight. When I win a fight, I say, okay, I did everything right. Let me just go back and do it again. When I lose a fight, I say, oh my God, I did something wrong. I got to fix it. What went wrong? How do I do this better? Better. And you know, that's all it is. It's a game of getting better every day. You can't look at it like, oh, am I better than my last fight? I don't know. I haven't fought yet. Am I better than I was yesterday? Absolutely. And I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. And that's all I can strive for. You know, this is a lifelong journey. It's not like, oh, let me go pick some fights for fun. I like to do this because it's a way for me to grow as a person.
All right, my man. Listen, any love you want to give out before we rock on out of here?
Man, I love everybody. My fans especially. You guys, when you come to the fights, you make some noise, you get me amped. When I got a crowd of people shouting and screaming, it makes me want to do crazy stuff in there. So, you know, the fans, number one. My coaches and teammates, number two. Because without them, I'm not getting any better. I need people to train with. And, yes, everybody around me, all my support system. I just got to thank all my people.
That's it, man. Hey, listen, Ring of Combat, September 21st in Atlantic City. Dante Rivera is bringing his team, and they want to leave with victories, man. The Jaguar's coming, bringing it to the cage, and I can promise you he will leave everything in there, and he's worth the price of admission. So check him out.